Welcome to another episode of Bridges to Success, brought to you by the Immigrant Center with the support of Rogers TV. Today, we will be interviewing Walter Luzzi, the manager at the Access English Center at the IC. Welcome, Walter.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I want to begin by asking you, what is the Access English Center and when did it start?
Is actually a little bit of a history behind, so I'll make it brief. I know that our time is
a bit limited.
It's limited here, but everything started like a few years after I started working at the Immigrant Center.
What year was that?
It was in 2000, well, actually 15 years.
15
we
years.
are celebrating now this April when we record this. 2025.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, and I found out by accident as I was going through the annual reports, and I said, oh, okay, so my first report was in 2010. Although my relationship with Immigrant Center goes a little bit back to 2007, when I was volunteering, and as in many cases at the Immigrant Center, full-timers are finding the positions. They are former volunteers at the Immigrant Center. So
that's true.
That's a long story, and we started when we moved to the 100 Adelaide from this Edmonton 646.
You remember even the address. That's
Edmonton
pretty good.
Street. Yes, I do remember.
That was in 1969, wasn't it? No, 2009, I believe.
2009 when we moved, and the Access English Center was already created because of new funding. But in 2010 was officially the first year when we started, and we use all the lower level of our
You're
current
using the
location.
basement, yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 100 Adelaide.
And so what is your target audience or target clients for the Access English Center?
Well, as in many of our programs at the Immigrant Center, what we have is adult EAL students.
Okay.
So because we have diversified funding, we are lucky to have an all-inclusive services.
Newcomer adult students.
Exactly. So from all spectrums of CLB, aka Canadian language benchmarks. So we go from foundations based, so those students who have literacy background in their first language,
Yes.
but they don't have foundations in English, all the way to advanced.
I see.
We do not work as a full-time program or credited program, but the business, we run it as a full-time program.
And can anyone enroll in the program?
Anyone who is a
newcomer.
newcomer, exactly. So, for example, we have permanent residents, of course, is a main target, and the others could be international students, temporary foreign workers, of course. Anyone who would like to also, who are enrolled in full-time programs, and they can use the Access English Center as a supplement for their studies.
I see. Who are your teachers for the program?
Those are the ones who are the foundations of our program. They are volunteer teachers, and I have to say that it's a model that is copied in other parts of the country.
Amazing.
In the Access English Center. Yeah, we run, I know this because sometimes when we visit, we share conferences all across the country. They are kind of shocked that we actually worked and we managed to go through all our classes with volunteer teachers. And because I have HR background, I go through the exact same recruitment, selection, placement, and training as any full-time worker.
As if they were paid workers.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm.
So, and we are very lucky that I get from volunteer teachers emails saying, I really appreciate and I'm flattered that you gave me the possibility to return when I'm the one who's supposed to be thanking them, because we cannot do the business and the services that we provide for all the clients free of charge without their help.
That was my next question. Is it a paid program? And you just said it is a free program for everybody.
It's free of charge. All our services in the Immigrant Center, except a few services that require just a nominal fee, is free of charge. So the same process goes to all the other clients from any other services at the Immigrant Center. You register at the front desk, you get the IC number, you go through assessment, needs assessment and intake, and then is referred to the Access English Center in the lower level.
Could you expand a little bit on the assessment part? How does it work?
That's a good question, thank you. It's not the language assessment as any other partners will do, because we do not duplicate services such as WELARC. Those are the only assessment centers in Manitoba, but we do perform a needs language assessment just to find out what the right level is from the student, because sometimes they come with the CLB already.
Right.
But a lot of things happened since the last time they got that CLB test, or they never got one because they still don't have the PR status.
Absolutely.
So, because our staff has teaching background, we do have a casual conversation with them, and then based on that language needs assessment, we place them in the right group, based on the right CLB level.
And what does the classes at your center differentiate from other centers? For example, is it formal learning or is it just conversation?
It's a conversation based, however, is from a teacher point of view, and this is EAL teaching, we use what we call task-based activities. To make this in plain language and plain English is anything that it has that is important for a newcomer to successfully settle in the province. Banking, how to find a doctor, 911, nutrition.
Housing,
right?
I believe.
Housing, exactly. So each meeting is independent from one another. Even when we carry those around 10 to 12 most frequently used topics, they still link to each other on one common thing, which is the language.
Absolutely.
So when we address, the teachers address the subjects, is within the EAL component in order to improve and include vocabulary.
That is absolutely wonderful. Well, I want to thank you for being here today, for your wonderful insights about your program. It is amazing. And I want to thank the audience for tuning in today, and we'll see you back next time.